go through the newspapers here. We're going to start with the Irish Times. Their lead story is Johnny Sexton, top stellar year with World Player Award. So Johnny Sexton obviously is the World Rugby Player of the Year. Farrell in line to succeed Schmidt. That's their story. Jerry Thornley saying that it might even be announced today that Andy Farrell, it might not be announced today, as well as also what he's saying. And then no fanfare for McCarthy 2.0. Was there no fanfare? Was it low key? Is that how you would describe yesterday?
Kind of has to be when he's leaving in 2 years, I suppose.
Short stay is no problem for McCarthy is the back of the Times Ireland edition. Farrell set to be next coach. I think there's general agreement that Andy Farrell is in pole position at the moment. And then Eddie Jones moved swiftly from England's successful finish to the November campaign by immediately setting his sights on Ireland. We owe them one, he said. Yeah, let's have you. Let's be having you, Eddie Jones. Let's be having you. Sexton leads charge for Irish Rugby at World Awards. So a picture of Sexton, Rory Best and Peter O'Mahony all in Monaco last night to accept the award of Team of the Year. With Joe Schmidt there as well. He might have been preparing his statement for this morning. Steady hand, McCarthy's back and okay with short-term 2020 vision. Ozil, Emery's actions speak louder than words. This is Mesut Ozil dropped for the game against Bournemouth because Emery wanted someone who could deal with the physicality of Bournemouth.
Fair enough.
Players get dropped. There's an obsession with like Ozil being in and out of the team. It's like sometimes players are in form, sometimes they're not. Unai Emery, not a respecter of the fact that you can't be dropped because we spent all that money on you. Who cares? He's like, I like Unai Emery at the moment. Michael Moynihan has had an interesting piece. Tiger and Phil merely helping us open our eyes. So Tiger and Phil were pictured in front of the actual money or stacks of cash. Breaking Bad style stacks of cash that they were going to be playing for in their 9 million. Did Phil win? I'm not sure.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Michael Moynihan's making the point that there was an outcry about this. Everybody, this is grotesque, look at you. But like, that's what they play for every week. They play for stack cash that size every week.
You're actually just seeing the money here.
Yeah. And that, what's wrong with that? Is that our brains can't compute the fact that the shittiest tournament in America you win $1 million for, like, if you win, and generally you win a good bit more than that. There's the picture of the cash from last week.
If you have an objection to it, why not become a golfer and try to win it yourself? Because obviously the money is there.
It's like, however amount of money that is, that's like the annual salary of middle of the range Premier League footballer. I mean, it probably isn't.
I probably feel a little bit uneasy about posing for the photographs as they did, but maybe they're donating money to charity, I don't know.
There was some money was going to charity. It was unclear how much money was actually going to charity, but then people bought it. So, laughing all the way, new boss McCarthy could bank up to 4.2 million from staggering deal. Philip Quinn has a story that on top of a reported 2 million in wages for the 20 months up to the summer of 2020, he'll bank a 1 million bonus should he lead Ireland to the Euro finals. I thought the 2 million would have included the bonus, but maybe not.
It's incredible money. Like, I think in fairness to the FAI, it's hard to figure like 15 million if the difference in getting there and not getting there. So I don't think they'll really care about the 1 million. But as Daniel was saying on Saturday, just our salaries have been so bonkers with the international team that you can't exactly bring another lad in and give him half what his predecessor got. So you probably just go incremental decreases for the time being. I wonder what Kenny's deal is. He would have accepted a fair bit less, I think, than would have been needed to maybe attract somebody from abroad. But it's huge money for the job that it is.
Yeah.
And realistically, what are they working? A couple of days a week, really? Like, there's so much. There's not much going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we were having this conversation with Kev over the weekend as well. And he was like, "Look, that's the going rate, It isn't. It isn't the going rate in the sense of like if you compare it to some associations across Europe, it's very, very high. But it's way higher than
Wales, for example. Martin O'Neill, Michael O'Neill, rather.
So Michael O'Neill wasn't coming from a championship job, and also with the Welsh job, you have somebody who is worth 25 to 40 million. Mm-hmm. So like, if we'd given the job to Robbie Keane, could we have said, I'm not saying we should have, right? But could we have given Robbie Keane 400 grand and said, come on, Robbie, you're worth 25 to 40 million. You don't need the money. It's 400 grand. We can put all the rest of that money into, whereas with Mick, it's like, this is my job. This is my last chance to earn this kind of money.
I think it's genuinely linked to just how much they've been paying, like Trapp and O'Neill. Like
Trapp was like one of the most decorated managers in the history of football.
No,
McCarthy's never won a trophy.
Yeah, in fairness to Trapp, like that was probably that was a fairly stable call at the time, and it was part financed by Dennis O'Brien. So, and we needed an injection, like, but they're on a lot of money for the job that's in it.
Yeah.
The bonus I don't really have a problem with.
No, absolutely.
Whatever, it'll be worth it in the end.
So, an Irish solution to an Irish problem is the back page headline on the Irish Independent.
I like that headline.
Time limit on second term tests diplomacy of returning boss. Eamon Sweeney, it's hard to see winners in McCarthy, Kenny Fudge. Is it hard to see winners? 2 million quid for 20 months work? Oh, well, that's winning. Hashtag winning.
It's interesting that an Irish solution, an Irish problem was coined by Charlie Haughey, I believe, back in the day, of course, which is to do with our contraception problems, which it really wasn't an Irish problem. Like, contraception is a problem, or it isn't, but it's not an Irish problem.
The Irish problem was that they wanted to ride and not have any repercussions for it.
Yeah.
That was the Irish problem.
But he also coined the GUBU, like, grotesque unprecedented. There's certainly a bit of the GUBU about this. It is quite unprecedented.
It's not, here's the thing, it's not grotesque.
It's not, no.
Like,
I'm with you, Ger.
People are saying,
I really have an issue with this.
What if he becomes a lame duck manager and he has 2 bad results? If that happens, we have a ready-built solution already. This is exactly why somebody like Gareth Southgate was in charge of the English under-21s, or whatever job he had. In case you get your manager found drinking a pint of wine, suggesting that those rules around transfers, we can a bit of wiggle room with that. I can help you with that. Like, it's just in case of emergency, break glass.
Yeah.
And all of the underage managers should all be thinking, like, at some point, if I'm involved with the under-15s, we win the Euros and I get the next job, or we get to the Euros and we win every game, or we outperform what we're supposed to be able to do, then I should be able to think that I could be the manager of the international team.
Kenny also has to understand what it's like to work within the FAI, because this is something new to him. It's going to be a little bit challenging, I would have thought. But in fairness, I think if we didn't have this big tournament coming up, they probably would have given Kenny the job. But
I think so too.
I do agree this Mick is a safer pair of hands. I think Kenny is not 100% certain to succeed as an Ireland manager. It's a very challenging job with the players we have.
And the press.
Yeah.
And the press.
Absolutely. If he's
see that firsthand now when he's going to be able to sit and watch.
He doesn't get that with Dundalk. Like, and you ask any Irish manager in the last 20 years, and they will reference the media and say this was very tough, and they hounded me, it was difficult. They were doing their job, but Kenny wouldn't have been used to that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, imagine we might have a solution that works. Maybe, who knows? Anyway,
I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Back page of the Guardian. Ozil dropped by Arsenal. Match was too demanding for Germany, claims Emery. And then there's the picture from the Dubai Grand Prix. Hulkenberg walks away from F1 horror crash. You can see he's upside down there. He was trapped in his burning car for 3 minutes.
Wow.
I did a thing at the Web Summit with Williams, head of innovation, and it's basically like this little tube. I didn't realise that the steering wheel is attached on and off. It has to be detachable because you can't get into the car or out of the car if the steering wheel is there.
Tight, like.
Yeah. And the other thing was that they took the technology that they've used and they've turned it into transportation for babies within hospitals who are in crisis. So a newborn baby who needs to be transferred from the maternity ward in one hospital to emergency cardiac surgery, they use the exact same material to transfer it. So they put the baby in this and they can zip it around in airlifted if they need to, or in busy traffic, and the baby will be safe because they've taken technology from Formula One. I'm like, I actually believe in Formula One again as a
the way
force
we
for
went
good.
From contraception to that story about babies is just amazing. It just took us about a minute and a half.
There you go. Grotesque, unbelievable, bizarre and unprecedented. Take us through the tabloids.
Yeah, so this is the Mirror Go for Broker, which I quite like, I have to say. Go for Broker. Will Robbie Keane be able to
what is it? What's the Go for Broker?
So Declan Rice is going to be met by Keane is kind of the broker in the situation.
Okay.
To hopefully, and in fairness, how big will that be if we got Rice? Like he's just so much quality which we don't really have, and he's only getting better, I think.
Yeah, so it's somebody demanding the ball, taking the ball and passing the ball.
Yeah, and also just I suppose the message that gives to the rest of the squad that Declan Rice is happy to play with us. Deck the halls in the Herald. McCarthy and Keane will talk to Rice about future before Christmas comes, hence the Deck the halls. Boss O'Neill was axed by FAI before hours. Straw Delaney as you said, like, I wonder if what would have happened if we actually won in Denmark, but I think that wasn't going to happen. Johnny and Joe got World Rugby Awards, and Johnny Sexton apparently couldn't actually speak. His voice was gone. Penalty save sends Crokes to finals, and that's against Mullinacha. Brent Pope, Schmidt's got more options. For Keane and Country in the Sun, Martha's have gone in for a draw. Robbie's first job has helped McCarthy convince Declan to play for Ireland. A fight snub for Mezzes, as we've obviously spoken about. Have we done the Examiner? I think we have done the Examiner. So I guess it's Rice is kind of like the dominant, I suppose, headline. We can work together
is the star. Also, they've got. Here's the thing about this: it's the tabloids front and back today.
McCarthy, Keno's a cheeky BOLL. No, I wasn't talking about. He's on about Robbie. The Robbie Keane thing is interesting because we're not sure what he's going to bring. You know, and
it didn't seem Mick McCarthy was very sure what he was going to bring there.
No, he said he just spoke about his time at Inter and at Spurs or whatever, and I was like, yeah, but like,
what's that got to do with the price of milk?
You know, Robbie never gave me the impression that he was a ready-made manager. Just from, he's not the most impressive speaker in the world, maybe.
One counterpoint. Somebody has it today in Peter Crouch's book that when they were at Spurs together, Robbie Keane was always giving out to Harry Redknapp about the lack of shape that they were doing, and Harry Redknapp's response was, "What? I'm going to tell Gareth Bale where to run. Or I'm going to tell Luca who to pass the ball to." I mean, you just think about the quality of the team that they had, Bale and Luka Modric in the same team, and didn't actually...
In fairness to Robbie as well, like he's made his intentions known for some time that he does want to get into coaching, and it's going to be interesting. He might kind of half prove me wrong on that, but you know, himself and Stephen Kenny, I think they're both from Tala direction, so it's definitely a proud couple of days for that part of the world. But what he'll bring... Terry Connor obviously is, I suppose, his trusted lieutenant. I think that's fairly set in stone, but can't be any worse than the system that Ireland had, in which obviously trainings were much maligned, really, and just their whole structure of not knowing the team before kick-off and stuff that just seemed to be anomalous in this day and age. I think Mick will bring a real structure to things, and people know their job. We won't be playing amazing football, but it won't be too bad either.
Yeah,
you know.
I think like if they get a bit of luck with injuries, that the team is mediocre with potential as opposed to desperate as they have been for the last 12 months. So